As Ron Perlman would say, get your booster. It's episode 2 of season 4. Booster. You like that wee intro? Get the booster, get the jag, damn it.
Get the booster seat for Bishop.
When I'm out, you're out, Jackie boy. But we have 3 facts to talk about. Fact numero uno. First appearance of the Galindo Cartel. How great were they in Sons?
Yeah, Galindo Cartel meant something. When you seen them, you knew that they were the big boys. You see them in Mayans, you're thinking, holy crap. What the hell happened?
What the hell happened, buddy? Second fact, first appearance of Romeo Parada. We're sticking with the Galindo Cartel. And in fact number 3, again with the cartel, Luis Torres' actor is the 5th S.H.I.E.L.D. actor to appear on Sons of Anarchy.
So lots of S.H.I.E.L.D. actors, but it makes sense because of Kurt Suiter's link, obviously, with both shows. So
it definitely won't be the last. There's a lot more to come in the S.H.I.E.L.D. department. And I think, if you've already did a previous show and they're reliable and you know they're good, why not bring them in?
Could we see a video in the future ranking all S.H.I.E.L.D. cast members in SOA?
We could definitely do that. But we kick off the episode with some coffee and newspaper with Gemma and Clay. And I think this right here at the beginning of this episode is pretty much where the club completely goes downhill, especially for Clay. Because Gemma lets Clay know that she found the note from Maureen Ashby to Jax. And this is when Clay... This is when Clay goes from, you know... Not really bothered. Yeah, he wants the money from the drugs and the guns, but this is when he goes for that, the complete paranoia. Gemma should not have said anything to Clay. This is when Clay goes into hyper mode. The letters. Tara still got them.
Yeah, I just don't really see the point. Nothing's really came in the letters right now, and I get it. Maybe Gemma's a little bit worried, paranoid, but she kind of knows the person that Clay is. It's her not telling Clay about the letters just going to make things worse. Shouldn't Gemma have kept it to herself at least and dug around and tried to find out who had the letters and see if she could maybe retrieve the letters? I just think it was a bad idea.
It was.
From Gemma's perspective to just be like, you know what? I'm going to tell fucking Mr. Prez here about these letters, and then God knows what he's going to end up doing. I mean, this is the same guy that when he thought Opie was ratting, he attempted to take him out.
Well,
so
put it this way, if Clay found the letters before Gemma, would Gemma have got a fucking mention? Would Gemma have been told? Of course she wouldn't. Look at how stuff he did without Gemma knowing. He's bloody ordering hits on half the club. Hits on old ladies.
Well, if he finds the letters and burns them, Gemma doesn't really need to know, does she?
I guess she doesn't, but you know what? She should not have said anything.
I don't think the club... I wouldn't say the letters are club business, so therefore I do think it is something that Gemma and Clay can discuss with each other.
No, it absolutely is.
But I just think it would have made more sense if Gemma said, you know what, I'm going to try and handle this on my own and find these letters and, diffuse the situation.
Either way, though, her telling Clay, even if say it was Jax or Tara, it doesn't really matter. I mean, either way, like, what do you want? Do you want him to go confront Jax about it? Or confront Jax's to-be wife? Either way, it's going to end bad. It's not like there's a third option, like Fee Lynn. Yeah. You're like, I'm not really bothered about Fee Lynn. I mean, there's a 33% chance that Fee Lynn read the letters. I don't know if he could read the letters. But anyway, let's go into it.
Do you even read, bro?
Do you even read? We have a bunch of dead Russians. We've got Opie and Lila talking to each other kind of simultaneously with Jax and Tara scenes, but then we've also actually got the crime scene itself. And this is where you've got Roosevelt speaking to Hale. We've got Hale, Jacob Hale, Mayor Jacob Hale. He's pressing Roosevelt about, you need to go after these white trash barbarians. Then Eli's like, no, but we don't really know who it was. We need to look at all the facts. The Russians run with a dangerous crowd. And then Jacob Hale's like, do what the taxpayers hired you to do. He heard Eli say that and he thought it was fucking Unserback.
He did.
He's like, excited. God damn it. Then he sees the big man, Lincoln Potter, arriving from the corner. He says, good morning. None of your Russian. Great wee line here from Lincoln Potter. Almost quoted the episode, guys. Sorry about the spoiler, but it almost was, wasn't it?
Yeah, not a great day for the Russians.
No, absolutely not. I mean, they're pretty much all wiped out, bar about 4, but well, they'll soon be wiped out in this episode, I can assure you. Then we get the big debut of the Galindo Cartel. We've got Luis Lopez, Romeo Parada meeting with Marcus Alvarez, Clay, and Jax. And what I like about season 4, you've got a big, heavy involvement with Alvarez, don't you?
Yeah, because I think season 3, Alvarez obviously took a back seat. He did kind of feature more heavily towards the end, where they go to his house for the ransom, and he obviously they've got the same problem with the Fatos. Well, not the Fatos.
No, the Calavares.
The Calavares, sorry.
Fatos, what the fuck?
Wrong show. But no, I think Alvarez in season 4, you get the cartel involved. That brings in Alvarez heavy. And Alvarez being involved more in Sons of Anarchy just can't be a bad thing.
No, it's not.
I love Big El Padrino.
You know what?
Big Marcus.
I am fond of like Sons against Mayans, but I also like them teaming up.
Yeah, no, I kind of... it's a good dynamic.
And I think that just solidifies though, like how much like the Galindo Cartel was fair, like even against Sonora as well. Like here you've got the Sons, the Mayans, the Galindo, and they're taking on this other cartel, and it's like you still feel like they're fucked, even though they're like 100 strong, 100 deep. I mean, all these Mayan charters, Sons charters, and Galindo, and you still feel like the Sonora, Lobo Sonora's a massive fucking threat. Well, in Mayans, it just doesn't feel like that. The Brotherhood was alive, but I tell you what, this introduction for Romeo Parada and Luis, it was fucking great. No complaints from me. Clay opens the trunk up. Guns. His favourite word, guns. We've got all sorts. They shoot a couple of them into the junkyard, but then Romeo Parada's like, I need more. I need Barrett 50 cals. I need RPGs. I need
heavy artillery. And Clay's thinking that's a man after my own heart. This guy wants guns.
I know, Clay was almost about to fucking get down on his knees with Romeo Parada here. He was loving it, guns. He's like, I'll see what I can do. I'll see what I can do. Clay knows what he can do. Get on the fucking hotline to the IRA and deliver these fucking guns. I mean, I tell you what, like, RPGs and Barrett 50 cals, it doesn't get much stronger than that, I can assure you. So it looks like it's all good. There's bricks of cash literally being delivered to Clay. His fucking eyes. I don't know if his heart's going to be able to take this. Forget about his hands. What was his fucking heart? Guns, drugs, money. Clay's in love. But then, Romeo was like, we'll have the coke ready for you for the ride back. And then Jax's face drops. Clay kind of looks at Jax at the corner of his eye and he's like, and this is the real beginning of the end, isn't it? We can forget about the fucking letters. What was worse for Clay, the letters or the coke?
I'd say the vote.
Well, the vote was probably worse.
The vote just divided the entire charter. See, when the vote went through, you could just see Bobby and Chibs kind of just give up on the club a little bit.
They did. No, they did.
Opie seemed like he'd already checked out.
Yeah.
I mean, Opie might have been having the agreement that, it's going to be me and you at the top of the table, but fuck me, I don't know, from that point onwards, Opie's like, well, if we die, we die.
Right, we'll talk about the vote in more detail next episode, but if you look at the vote, Clay out of the whole table's the only guy that wanted it. Really wanted it. Like really, really wanted it.
He wanted it.
But yeah, he sits in the front of the pickup truck with Jax, and they have like a good 6-7 minute, I would say, conversation here.
Anyone who voted yes for the vote either did it to please Jax and Clay, or they did it based on like false information.
But at the same time, also kind of just to please Jax, like, yeah, man, you said it was going to be good, so I'll do it to go your way. Like you look at Kozik, he did it just to back his present VP. Then you've got Miles, who just did it for Opie. Opie kind of did it for Jax, but kind of also listened to the BS.
You know what?
That's just going to back Clay regardless.
That's cheap from Kozik, though. Backing my present VP. No, if you don't think it's the right decision, then fuck you, Kozik. Again.
It's funny. They ruled him out. They're like, he's a fucking junkie. There's no way he's going to accept this. It's like he's a nay. Nope, he's a fucking yay. But we've got this scene here between Clay and Jax in the pickup truck. Of course, the whole deal wasn't for there to be coke. We voted them in, selling them guns. Then Clay's like, we'll have another vote. Jax confronts him though. He says, you brokered this whole thing inside of Stockton Yard. And here, I would have liked to have seen a bit more of this whole Stockton Yard. Would you not? Obviously, there's been talk, right, of a potential prequel in between season 3 and 4. It's never really going to happen, but I think if they were going to do something with all the members alive, would it not be that for a few episodes?
Yes.
But is it going to happen? Realistically, not. Clay then tries to go down the route of, I did it for you, son. I did it for you. The Russians, the Galindo Cartel were the only ones strong enough to keep the Russians off your back. But Jack sees through this and calls him out on his bullshit. He says, you just want to cash out, you want to get rich before you have to step down. And Clay's like, yeah, it's been a hard couple of years. Got no money, buddy. Right. Did Clay even factor in the fact that Jax got stabbed, or do you think it was all for the money?
It's all for the fucking money, Clay. Who are you trying to kid? We did that for retaliation. I mean, retaliation, my ass, Clay. I know, we know why you did it. You want the guns, you want the money.
You want it all and no less, come on.
You wanted the deal. I mean, Clay will do whatever it takes to get this through. Clay's ready to cash out. Guy's not got many years left. Needs to make some of that money while he can.
Yeah, so Jax eventually says, here, you push the guy off a roof in Belfast for the exact same reason, which we put up a poll, so make sure to go vote on it.
McGee was a rat.
I mean, I guess at this point, right, Clay's not really done anything shady. Like, yeah, he's brokered this deal behind the club's back, but at the end of the day, he still gets to vote fairly. He does.
True, but I would have liked to have known what would have happened if the vote didn't go Clay's way.
Yeah, what actually would have happened?
I mean,
with Romeo fucking came down and sat at the table like Unser and been like, right,
extra vote. would I start?
It would have been fucking mailing ballots.
would Clay have been fucking drafting in members until he got enough yes votes? Like I just can't. I can't imagine Clay would have went back to Romeo and went sorry. They voted it down.
I think they would have fucking started using mail-in ballots, voting from home. Dead club members for the fucking 60s are starting voting you. It's a yay.
So yeah, I've got JT's letters. The letters read yay. I mean, come on.
I'll proxy JT. He's a yay. I did on, but I really enjoyed this scene, and it kind of ends with Jack saying, right, I'll back you in one condition. When you're out, I'm out. He's like, what are you on about? You wanted the gavel your whole life. Nope. And then he says, but when you step down and I leave, the president patch has to go to Opie. That's the deal. Clay reluctantly agrees to this, but I don't think Clay wanted Opie as president, and we do see in the future episodes he kind of speaks down about Opie to Bobby and Jax, which I think is weird. I think Opie actually shown in the previous episode, and Clay praised him for the 14 months. Realistically, right? What?
Opie's not ready to lead. I mean,
if Clay cashes in and leaves, why does he really care if Opie can lead or not? I know he's right, he might care about the club, but why would he care so much to be like, nah, fuck it, I can't let him lead?
I mean, I think Clay does care, but I think he cares a little bit more about himself.
Yeah. Do you think this is more of a case of, right, Jax, I'm never stepping down, buddy? Opie's never getting that fucking gavel.
I just don't see what it really matters to Clay, whether Opie led or Bobby led.
Well, let's not be real. Forget. Like,
if anything,
he
it looks
killed
like
Donna, so could you not argue giving them the seat would be like a final, like, thank you? Like, thank you for forgiving me, sort of thing?
If anything, it looks like Opie's more kind of moulded into Clay, the way Clay's direction, than I think Bobby at this point's kind of he's going in the opposite direction to Clay.
He's left leaning, so to speak, Bobby.
Aye.
I don't want any of that
I don't know why Clay would be really voting Bobby like over. Wouldn't he be surprised if Clay wanted Tig to be in charge, and that maybe he could have some, kind of like the Obama-Biden situation where he controls things with outside.
It could be, but eventually they do agree, and I just really enjoyed this scene. For me, scene of the episode.
Yeah, I mean, just so many. There were so many scenes in Sons where club members sat down and the dialogue was great. It felt really important. When did he get that in Mayans? It very rarely ever happened.
You don't need action, you just need two good actors.
And a lot of times, like the sit-downs in Mayans, it was always easy and angel, and a lot of the time it wasn't even really about the club. It was more their personal family life.
Our dad's a boring bastard. Yeah. Yeah. No, it really is. Right. Then we've got Gemma looking on the warpath here for these Ashby letters. Then she knows Abel pulling out like a single page of the letters for Tara's bag, and he's like half coloured it in. So it looks like Abel's daubed everyone in it.
Abel is he's gonna ruin everything, man.
He's gonna ruin everything. Clay then makes a deal with Elliot. Elliot probably seen Clay and thought, this guy's gonna whip out the knife that raped my little girl. For like fucking 10 years ago, but nope, Clay's like, nope. Then he gives him a big duffel bag worth of fucking cash and he's like, I want your lumber mill. He's like, you're gonna run guns. So Clay thinks this whole drug thing's in motion, like he's putting everything in motion.
Elliot's like, I don't know about this, Clay. And Clay just totally ignores him. Yeah, we'll move our stuff in tomorrow. It's a brand new day, Elliot.
It's a brand new day.
It's weird actually seeing Clay though give Elliot fucking money.
Yeah.
And not the other way around.
And as much as I said I loved the Jax and Clay scene in the pickup truck, what was better, that or the club actually discussing the guns at the table? Because you've got everyone giving their input here.
I actually think I preferred the pickup truck. The church meeting was great as well.
Yep, you've got Bobby saying, Sam Crow's never been in the drug business. Panny says, and never will. So you can clearly see what those two are. It's a no from me. It's a no for Joe.
Well, Penny hasn't really got control over that. He's got a vote.
Yeah, no, he says never will.
Except he's got the deciding factor, and it's like, not really. I mean, come on.
Interestingly, though, Opie says the last thing we want to do is give Alvarez leverage over our business. Would it really do that, though? Like, obviously, Alvarez is connected to the cartel, but would that really work? Would Alvarez get leverage over Sam Crow? I mean, I guess you'd be connected with him, but it's not like what Alvarez says what Sam Crow's going to have to do.
Can maybe argue that there'd be a connection, therefore they would like directly or indirectly maybe factor each decision they make would maybe have an impact on the other club's like business, but it's not like all of a sudden if they get in the drug cartel business that Alvarez gets a seat and gets a vote at the Suns table. I mean, it doesn't work that way.
Yep, Jax points
out.
If
anything, though, you could argue that might be a positive because it would, once and for all, I think, make the connection between the Mines and the Suns, like the bond that they have would have to be good. There'd be no going back on it.
Yeah, very true.
It would make their bond stronger.
Yeah, so we do get Jax saying, and let's not forget, for our brown alliances, Russians would have shivved all of us. Well, mate, they shivved you with your brown alliances, so how about you forget them, buddy? Clay then says the cartel's already committed. So Clay's basically saying here, the cartel's committed, so...
this vote needs to go ahead.
Yep, and then just like, what about drugs? Drugs put us on DEA's radar, and that's a very intriguing thing for Clay, just to say, because essentially by putting on DEA's radar and Rico, that's what fucks him.
Not good.
Not good for him. Chibs then brings up the point, well, the IRA have a big expectation, a big volume, and without the Russians, that burden lands right here with us. So yeah, killing the Russians also shafted them, and then Jax is like...
basically what we're told here is we've no fucking choice to put the vote yes.
Yeah. Clay's like, here, Clay goes, it's short term, we'll cash out, and Barry's like, there is no goddamn short term.
There's a goddamn cartel!
Then Jax whips out, like, fucking $500,000. And that's like half the first payment.
And everyone changes from an A to a yeah.
And he's like, well, think about it.
But where was the good scenes like this in Mayans? Where the fuck were they? I think the only really good tempo meeting I can recall in Mayans, it wasn't in the tempo. I think it was when Chibs got involved, season 2, episode 8.
I think the aftermath of that as well, I guess, was like a bit of a torn thought about retaliation. But apart from that, there's not really anything.
I think that was the best meeting, to be fair.
Yep. But after,
and I think there may have been a good one as well when Ramos and Thingy Kanche sat down.
Yes.
But other than that,
we did have Bobby confront Clay after this, and he's like, "Here, I love you, brother, but I love this club more. I'm not going to let this happen." Then Clay's like, do what you got to do. Clay almost like in a threatening way, like, I fucking no chance, fat man. Not a chance. Get away with my guns.
Let's be honest, though, right? Bobby, Bobby's not going to kill anybody here. See if Clay was saying that to Bobby, I'll do it. I'll take whatever it does to make sure. I mean, I think Clay's willing to push boundaries, push people off rooftops.
I totally agree.
To make sure this deal goes through.
I totally agree. Opie and Jax then go to the Wahiwa land, but it turns out the Wahiwa's been killed by a couple of Russians. Jax and Opie try to escape. They think they're clear, but then they get run off the road. Pretty big car crash, and then they get took hostage. Also,
I mean, should Sam Bell not be getting a vote here? Like, should they not be getting factored in?
I think they forgot about Sam Bell. I think Sam Bell probably don't want anything to do with Sam Crow. You wipe us out, brother.
I know, but is Sam Bell still not helping the Irish with the guns?
I guess they are. Maybe they're getting a percentage, man. I want
to know Seamus's thoughts on this.
I don't know what Seamus's thoughts are on this.
Did Seamus vote yes on the cartel deal? Coming soon to Fog Entertainment.
Maybe he did, but then Jax gives his phone call to TM after they've been kidnapped here by the Russians. Clay is on the warpath. He doesn't really give a fuck. I think Clay's almost checked out at this point. He just doesn't seem to care. Tig says we've got Jax on the home line. It's important. Who's Jax? And just storms off to talk to Unser. Talks to Unser about the letters. He's like, fuck Jax and Opie. Even though he's like the only two guys that he seems to be half close with this season.
Yeah, the only guys that's on his side, but he's not making a big rush here to save them.
And it's funny because Unser is doing the most police work he's ever done at this point. He's finding out information about John. He's finding out information about the letters. But Gemma also confiding in him about John, reveals that John had a whole new family in Belfast. And Unser's like, I'm going to look into it. But then at this point, this is when they finally get through to Clay that, yep, the Russians have got them kidnapped and they want the guns, or we kill them. You have 30 minutes. Fuck your 2 hours. Then the club's discussing, well, you know what? It takes 2 hours for Opie, for Happy and Kozik to get the guns down. So you know what? Looks like they're fucked. Then Clay's like, you know what? I'm going to make a phone call. But as soon as he goes to make the phone call, who turns up? None other than Roosevelt. He was told to get hard with him for Potter and co. And guess what? He does get hard with him. He starts smashing the clubhouse with the fire axe. And what did you make of this for Roosevelt? He knew he couldn't really pin them to the Russians' murder, so he decided just to fucking destroy the clubhouse.
I get it. He's doing it on a technicality, but surely he should be getting in trouble for this, no? He's overstepping his mark. I know he's, a fire hazard, but come on.
I think...
If anything, though, he's a police officer.
I think this is the difference. So
he shouldn't really be able to do this.
He shouldn't really, but he is. But I like it. He's trying to, like, he's not afraid. See, if this was mine, so when a cop did this, they'd probably just wipe out the whole police department.
Do you think Captain America should have maybe done something like this? Hale?
Yeah, but Hale was too by the book. He wouldn't have done something like this.
So you think Eli's a bit more rogue?
Not rogue, but I think he's willing to...
Bend the rules?
Bend the rules, yes. He asked why...
So do you think, like... I don't know, how do you think Eli, Captain America, Hale and Unser would have gone if it was like a 3-man police team?
Unser would have overruled them and slammed the gavel at them and went, fuck off. You're not
Eli, I'm wearing the gold badge here and what I say is gold. And if I want those guys...
the goddamn chief.
...to run drugs through Charmin... It's going to happen. No crime's being committed here. I know they've got a gun to Sabel's head, but screw it.
Roosevelt then points out the fact, why is there no...
No, but how retarded was it that time he walked in and he's I'm telling you guys, I'm in charge. And there's been
no... retarded. He's a club member. Come on, give Unser some slack. Roosevelt points out, though, why is there no brothers on the wall? And then he spots Unser. Photo. You don't remember that? Unser wasn't on the ball.
No, he wasn't.
No. And then he's like, why is there no brothers? And Piney says, in a really, like, shit joke, what's up is that there's no brothers on the wall. It's like, that's I think that's the sole reason he started fucking destroying the place. Do
you think we need to introduce a, worst quote of the episode? That could have been it.
That was it. That was mince.
Penny, just leave the jokes to somebody else.
Clay then says, do what you gotta do, and then he destroys the place.
Do what you gotta do.
Do what you gotta do, buddy. Right, and then Jax and Opie are rescued by Romeo Parada and Luis Lopez. Wipe them all out. You get the rest back when you let them free. Bullshit. And then Romeo doesn't even sell the guns. Getting shot at him. He just fucking looks at the bullets.
Yeah, and just takes out the Russians. Is that the Russians done?
Well...
They let one go, so I'm assuming he's gone back to Russia.
Yeah, and then the other one, the Gilhira torture next episode, so pretty much that is the Russians wiped out.
Done, dusted.
Done and dusted. We return to the clubhouse, and then Tara informs everyone that her and Jax are engaged. But at this point, you see the club is divided, depressed, and conquered. Everyone, you've got Piney drinking, looking depressed, looking at Jax, then you've Bobby pouring half his fucking drink on the floor. I'm surprised Piney wasn't on the floor trying to lick it up.
But Tara obviously felt like her wee announcement was going to make everything okay.
Realistically, right, what's her announcement here doing for for this folk that's just... I mean, it's not... I mean, who gives a fuck? Really?
Bobby's still thinking in the back of his head, this club's fucked.
Yeah.
Now, unless her announcement was, I'm voting nay, and the drug cartel's not happening, then I guess...
It's a sway for me, but that is where the episode
Could you imagine if it was if it was 6-5, nay, and then Unser just walks in, puts his hand up, it's a yay for me, boys.
Double point. He gets a double vote.
It passes.
It passes, buddy. But yes, a very not much action. I mean, I guess Jax and Opie had a lot of action, but very character, scene dependent, dialogue dependent.
Unser walks in and he wants to join the club. And Tig, hey Clay, Unser's done a lot for this club over the 10 years. He should not be prospecting.
10 years?
He can have a full patch.
Fucking 45 years?
Jax, he'll have to wait one day till he can hold an office, but...
One day he's fucking press.
Fucking Clay. Opie's not ready to lead, but Unser is.
Oh,
God.
Big Unser, right? I'm going to give this episode an 8 out of 10. Not the 10 out of 10 we gave the premiere, but another great episode.
Yeah, I also agree. 8 out of 10. Great episode. Really enjoyed it. I feel like 7 or 8 is probably the norm for Sons.
Yeah.
It's very rare an episode's below a 7.
It is, I can't remember giving one below 7, but that's where we're going to leave this one, guys. We'll be back very soon for episode 3. Make sure you check out all the Fairy Fids, but until next time, peace.